to get to a point where goal setting from a kind of investment perspective is something we do. And I would like you to have that to work on this week for next week. And what I mean by that is, again, we're defining what is it that we're trying to achieve, have clarity of what that looks like for 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and then we work backwards to say, well, if you need to get to that point in 15 years from now, what do I need to do 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years, and next year? And that gets us a process of how to get to our longer term goals. So can I just check that you do goal setting at work? It's a usual thing that you'll do?
Yeah, we do a forecasting as such. Maybe not 5-10 years.
Okay.
It's just based on the term of the project that we're running as such. But yeah, of course, in terms of forecasting and budgeting and stuff, I've got some ideas.
You've got an idea. But actually, that is an interesting one. Do you have one that you've ever done for yourself?
Yeah, but typically I aim too short, too low.
Yeah, good.
So the only, early 20s I set myself a goal. I had a fair bit of savings, and the idea was turning them savings into 4 or 5 properties.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to achieve that. But again, obviously that's when I plateaued and I stopped, and I've not set any new goals, and I've just kind of been
Amazing. And you know what? I thank you for your honesty, because at the end of the day, that is not unusual. And actually, this is why I put it as the first stop of the program, because it's nothing to do with property. But if almost the way I describe not having goals, and bear in mind, look, I did corporate like you 20 years, and I used to cringe when I first got to, oh God, every year we got to do this. Now I just think, oh my God, how did I even think that was not important? This is the most important thing. And to me, it's like getting in my car, jump on the M25, but I have no idea where I'm going, and I don't know which exit I'm going to get to. I don't know when I'm going to arrive. It's the same principle. So go on.
No, of course, I disagree with what you're saying. No, you're 100% right there. You've got to have destination in mind. You've got to have direction and focus. Otherwise, you're just wasting time.
And then you don't know, once you've achieved loads of stuff, you don't know whether that was a good thing. Did you set out to do that? Have you done it? Are you halfway through? And this is why I have 25-year goals. I put it here 10 and 5 because I don't want to scare people who, some people are not in corporate, not done these things. So they were like, what? You want me to figure out what I want in 25 years? This is way too crazy. So I'll start with 10 and 5. But again, for me, people like me and you, I would say, look, you need to think about your 36, so maybe even go to 25, that's 50. We can sort of an idea of what life looks like. Speak to your parents, look at older cousins, just to figure out where life looks like at 50. Kids are how old, basic things like that. And then you start to work out, okay, well, that's my life in 50. So where do I want to be? What kind of money do I want to have? What kind of lifestyle do I want to live? Right, then you work backwards, because you, my friend, have got a better thing. You've got longer time span. So you don't need to make massive, big bets. You just need to make consistent bets every year to get you to that point. So here I talk about what are your key long-term goals. So I'm asking here 10-year goals, for example. And like you've just said, sometimes most people don't do stretch goals. They just say, I'm going to achieve, they know they can achieve 2 houses. They'll say, I'm going to achieve 2 houses. Actually, here I want you to say, I think you can achieve, you think you can achieve 20 flats. I'm going to say put 50 flats. So it's that kind of stretch. The reason why stretch is important is because you probably, maybe you do, but you probably won't get to 50. But you might get to 40 when you aim for 50. But if you aim for 20, you'll get 15. Make sense?
100%.
Because your mindset, your idea, the amount of money you do, you put in, the amount of effort, even yourself, how much looking do you do, all of that is dictated by what you write down that you're going to achieve. So your goals, I'm sure you've come across these smart objectives. They have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And here's an example. So for example, somebody could be to have a property portfolio of 100 units. So it's quite specific. That is generating £500 per profit per month. This is measurable. Is it achievable? Probably yes, you'd argue, in terms of the money that you're starting with. By 2023, so it's timed, and producing £50,000 per month in 10 years from now. Right? So that's quite specific. You know exactly what and what needs to happen. And so what is it that you're trying to do? Can you measure it? Is it within the time frame? Yes, it's all of that. Then you take the 10-year goals, you start to then break all of your 10-year goals into 5-year goals. So keeping with the same example, to have 100 units generating £500 per month, you can say in 5 years time, I need to then be at the 50 unit mark, generating £500 still and making 25 grand per month of passive income. We break it down even more. We say, okay, do you know what? Well, if this is my 10-year and then I get to my 5-year, so then what do I need to do in the next 12 to 36 months? Well, it's actually to buy 10 units per annum, which produces £500 per month each within the first 12 months. That's almost your big goal, and how you then take that big goal to go from 10, 5, 3, and 1. And then you do the how. The tactics are the how. So in terms of the tactics, just to again remain consistent with the example, tactic number 1, we could say, well, in year 1, you will need to either buy 1 block of 10 or 2 blocks of 5 or a mix of 3, 3, and 4 to get to those 10. Year 2 and 3, you pursue the same tactic to get the same to achieve those goals. So what does it look like here? It looks something like this. So in year 1, so you see what I mean? You start with 10 years and then you work backwards. You get to, so in year 1, I need to buy either 1 block of 10, 2 blocks of 5, or a combination. So all of a sudden, this 100 units, that was that, oh my God, how am I going to get that? To actually, can you buy 10 units, 10 individual flats, maybe in 1 block or in 2 blocks? Actually, that's a lot more doable. And all here we're saying is, if you do that consistently, I should say, 10 flats each year, 50 flats in the first 5 years, 100 flats in 10 years. So, and this is how I want you to think about for yourself. You know, if you can stretch 25, even if you put one line in 25 to say, I'm going to be 50, I would like to have A, B, and C. Or I could see myself being in this situation. And then again, put things about the kid. You know, I'm not really going to look at it. I just want you to do it. But the bit that I'm going to look at, the goals and thing is, okay, well, what kind of number you're looking at? And then how do we get to that number? 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, and 1 year. Yeah, but you need to do all the thinking for yourself, the kids, the family, how old the girls are going to be in 25 years. So you said your daughter is, one daughter is 11, so she's going to be 36. What kind of lie? You know, all of a sudden you are, and people, my wife cringes, oh, it's so boring. But you know what? If you don't do it, you have no idea where you're going to end up. Well, at least if you start to think about it a little bit, you may not get exactly there, but I guarantee you're going to get closer to what that place is. Whatever that place is. Yeah. So I know we spent probably 15 minutes, 10 minutes on goals. It is that important that I spend that much time on it. So the next thing about this, sorry, 1 second. Okay, what time are you back?
2 hours.
Okay, are you cycling or are you busing?
No, busing.
Okay, all right, love you. Bye. So my teenage son, he's got last few days of holidays and making the most of it before school starts again.
Fair play to it.